and welcome back to another episode of the Daily O. I'm Brody Myers. Let's get into our show. We're glad you're with us. The Non-Traditional Student Association has put up their annual Cowboy Angel Tree in the Student Union, where you can traditionally drop off gifts for children in the Stillwater area. Due to COVID, things look a little different this year. Kristen Trujillo gives us more.
The holidays are a great time to find ways to help others. One way that students and members of the Stillwater community can help others is through the Cowboy Angel Tree. The Cowboy Angel Tree event, which is hosted by the Non-Traditional Student Organization, lets students, faculty, and staff help support children who are served by agencies here in Stillwater by donating gift cards that will go to buying gifts for these children for Christmas.
People should donate and help because you're helping kids. There's kids that this will probably be the only thing that they receive for Christmas. So this means a lot more for the kids, and it's of course Christmas. So
the tree is located in the Campus Life Lounge on the north side of the second floor of the Union, and gift cards can be collected from the donors at the Leadership and Campus Life Information Desk to be put on the tree. Helping children get presents for Christmas is a reward in itself, and it's even better when you know those presents are going to agencies that represent our children here in Stillwater, like Payne County Youth Services and many others. The Cowboy Angel Tree includes children who are served by Payne County Youth Services, Department of Human Services Foster Care, OSU Family Resource Center, and Wings of Hope Family Crisis Services. These agencies hope to give the children they are representing a great Christmas that they will remember for years to come.
You know, for a lot of people these days, this type of program kind of becomes a part of their holiday tradition, where they, adopt a family or adopt a kiddo. It kind of becomes a way to give back. So I think for OSU, it's the perfect opportunity for students and staff.
If you're able to, consider donating a gift card this holiday season to the Cowboy Angel Tree and supporting the children in our community.
Thank you, Kristen. If you'd like to make a donation to the Cowboy Angel Tree, they are due on November 30th. With the impact of COVID affecting all aspects of our lives, many students are worried about the cost of their degree and whether or not OSU will continue to raise that price. Reporter Lauren Eggleston has the story.
Many students are worried about the amount of debt they will have after graduation, and COVID is making those concerns grow. Oklahoma State University has suffered large economic loss this semester with all of the changes it has made to adjust to the pandemic. The university is faced with the task of figuring out how to make up for these losses. Christy Hawkins is the Associate Vice President for Administration and Finance. She says as of now there is no plan to raise tuition, but that could change next fall.
No one can say for certain. That's something that we would make a final decision in May. So there are numerous months, between now and then where we would have to gauge if there are additional impacts of the pandemic that affect the university.
Key areas that have most likely suffered the most economic loss are the student union, because students aren't on campus as much, and athletics because of the 25% capacity at games. Economic loss due to COVID is not only a problem for the university, but a source of stress for students who can't financially support a rise in tuition. Caitley Towsley is a senior art major. She says she will have to explore some other loan options if tuition goes up.
But taking out a private loan, if tuition were to rise, would be a lot more stressful for sure, just because there is that pressure to pay that off first.
Looking to the beginning of the 2021 academic year, it's uncertain whether OSU will be able to bounce back economically or if the burden will fall on students.
Thank you, Lauren. For more information on exactly how much you're paying, you can head to bursar.okstate.edu and click on Tuition and Fees. As we all know, this semester looks different than any other, but OSU Facilities Management is making sure campus still has the same holiday cheer as it does every year. Daily O reporter Ryan Carnes.
Traditions. We all have our set of holiday must-dos. Spending time with family, eating good meals, and of course, decorating everything in sight. Oklahoma State is continuing their own tradition of decorating differently this year. The Fanfare of Lights, where many different students and faculty groups would come together to celebrate the turning on of the displays, will be in a virtual setting this year.
This year is much different, where many of those many of those groups and won't be participating because of our COVID-19 social distancing protocols.
Thousands of LEDs will still light up the campus, with the biggest display being at the Edmund Lowe Library. However, due to budget cutbacks, not every light will be up this year.
The process of decorating OSU begins way earlier than most would think. The team begins in July, taking inventory of the lights already here and buying new decorations, such as these.
Facilities management enlists the help of many different people to help put the displays together, such as electricians for the mass amount of voltage and wiring, roofers to build scaffolding and hang up the big wreath, and landscapers to handle the rest of the beautifying. Some of us may take these lights for granted, but for those who stick around, they will have something delightful to help take their mind off these crazy times.
This year, I think it's important because we sure need something to help brighten us up and lift us up, but it's also, there's still staff and faculty here, but we're doing it for the community as well.
It doesn't happen overnight, and making sure that the displays went up was important to the university and the community. After all, Oklahoma State was founded on Christmas Day over 100 years ago.
Thank you, Ryan. If you'd like to watch the Fanfare of Lights, it will be streaming online later this month. The Prairie Arts Center is going to hold their annual holiday pop-up art shops on December 5th. Mackenzie Coker tells us more.
The holiday pop-up art shops at the Prairie Arts Center is just one event in Stillwater that will bring holiday cheer this season. The pop-up art shop will be held on Saturday, December 5th from 10 to 2 at the Prairie Arts Center located on Duck Street.
We always do one right after Thanksgiving. We do one the following week of the first week in December, really, and people really look forward to it.
There will be 15 to 20 local artists selling and showing their work to the community.
This event will feature many local artists from the area. One in particular is the Senior Associate Vice President for Research at OSU by day and a woodworker by night.
I'm a wood turner, so I turn bowls, vases, Christmas tree. This time of year I turn Christmas trees. But my preference really is segmented wood turning.
Normally, the event is held indoors, but due to COVID, changes have been made.
But we did one in July outside, and it worked really well. And we do one every year at the holiday season, and so we're going to do one outside this year due to COVID.
Events like this in Stillwater give local artists a place to display their work and give the community another opportunity to shop local for the holidays.
It's been my first experience with the Prairie Arts Center this fall, and I've just been very pleased with how supportive they are of all the local artists.
The art shop is put on in collaboration with the Stillwater Farmers Market, and there will be hot chocolate and other festive treats provided by Good Little Eater.
Thank you, Mackenzie. The December 5th pop-up shops will be held in the side parking lot of the Arts Center on Duck. Next, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, Josh Weisel will give us our Thanksgiving week weather. For the Daily O, I'm Brody Myers.
Because of Cass, I'm more confident behind the camera.
Because of Cass, I have found lifelong friends and amazing mentors.
Because of Cass, I will be able to teach English in Cambodia with the Peace Corps.
Because of Cass, I had the opportunity to intern on Capitol Hill.
Because of Cass, I got to sing at the Vatican.
Because of Cass, I was able to present my research and I won a scholarship for it.
Because of Cass, I'm Miss Black OSU.
Because of Cass, I can help someone else find their voice.
Because of Cass, I'm able to not only have one, but 2 internships for the summer lined up already.
Because of Cass, I am confident in leadership positions.
Because of Cass, I'm excited for my future and the opportunities I have within my major.
Because of Cass, I can do it, and so can you.
When everything is on the line, one person can change the game. One swing of the bat, one perfect pass, one leaping catch. In the most important moments, one play, one person can make the difference. This is your moment. Your opportunity to change the game for our student athletes. Will you sit on the sidelines? Or will you be a game changer? Join the posse today. Call 405-744-7301 or log on to okstateposse.com. Be a game changer.
I've had a lifetime of little sweet pieces of special. And I just want them to know I love them.
The Cancer Center at Stillwater Medical, the heart of cancer care.
All right, and welcome back. I'm Joshua Weisel here in the Ocali Storm Studios, taking a quick look at your Thanksgiving Day forecast and the next 7-day forecast. So we're going to be taking a quick look. This is this evening and tonight. Currently, we are in the 70s. High of around 73 currently across the area. We've seen some much warmer temperatures across Stillwater the last couple of days. We will start to go down into the 60s later on this evening, and we will see mostly to partly cloudy skies as we head later on into this evening. We have some rain chances coming up for the next couple of days. I'll get to that in just a second. Starting with tomorrow afternoon, a cold front will push through, and as you can see, much cooler temperatures than what we saw today. We're going to see highs of around 59 across Stillwater, Oklahoma City, and areas to the west, even some 40s out here in the Oklahoma Panhandle. Widespread showers and thunderstorms are possible across a large portion of the state, mostly to the north and to the west as this cold front pushes through. And then again on Sunday, we will start to see shower and thunderstorm activity continuing to be widespread across much of the state. Highs will be in the 50s as we will see a high of 53 across Enid, Stillwater, and Oklahoma City. And again, we'll start to see those 40s in the western parts of the state in the Oklahoma Panhandle. So for the allergy index, if you've been tuning in for the past couple of shows, I've mentioned that the allergens are currently at a 0 for the past couple of days and even the past 2 weeks. That's some good news for some of us who suffer from allergens across the area. There are no pollutants whatsoever across the Stillwater area, and so we are thankful for that. It looks like it'll be the case for the next couple of days or so as well. So that is a quick look at your allergy index. So for the 7-day forecast, I mentioned that there's a chance for some showers and storms off and on for the next couple of days. As you can see, on Saturday and Sunday, about a 70 to 60% chance of showers and storms with that cold front. We're going to see highs in the 50s as well, even close to freezing down here on Sunday night into early Monday. Again, a 30% chance for some showers and storms maybe on Monday as well. And I'll step out of the frame real quick just so you can see. Another chance for some showers and storms on Tuesday, and then we'll start to dry out on Wednesday and Thursday. And we will see some lows in the 30s once again Tuesday night into early Wednesday. And as we get into the second part of the week, it looks to be a little bit more pleasant than the start of the week. As you can see, on Thursday, we're going to see some relatively pleasant conditions for Thanksgiving with partly cloudy skies and a high of around 59. Stay tuned for sports coming up right after this.
Welcome back to the Daily O. I'm Karsten Melton, and let's get into sports. Bedlam is tomorrow, and the biggest rivalry of the state will have another chapter. Alex Dusky is caught up with the team before the big clash in Norman on Saturday.
It's Bedlam week for the Cowboys. Oklahoma State travels down to Norman tomorrow for the biggest rivalry game of the season. Both the Cowboys and the Sooners are coming off of a bye week, which was much needed to try and get the team healthy going into this game. Although everyone knows what is at stake, the Cowboys are trying to stay calm and practice like it's any other game.
In my opinion, it's a game that's coming up between two teams that have never played each other. So I just haven't put much thought into it based on I don't really want to waste a lot of time thinking about that compared to getting ready to play in the game.
This season has been pretty different for the Cowboys. The team has been talked about all preseason and has a near perfect record so far. If the Cowboys win this game, not only will they put themselves in a great position to compete for the Big 12 title, but they would also knock the Sooners out of contention.
They got talented wide receivers, and we got a talented back end. So it's going to be a dogfight. And this is a game that we live for, man. You live for high competitions. I don't like easy games. I don't like people not throwing at me. I want to be challenged.
This will be both Oklahoma State quarterback Spencer Sanders' first Bedlam appearance and OU's quarterback Spencer Rattler's. There are several similarities between the two quarterbacks, most notably that they can both throw the ball well, but also have a very strong run game for a quarterback. Hopefully, the Cowboys' offense will have the upper hand and win the quarterback battle.
Brings more pressure on their defense. Having a versatile quarterback who can run the ball and throw the ball, it'll definitely make them more nervous on if they blitz or if they're not. I mean, it'll definitely draw more concern for their defense, no doubt.
OSU goes into this game ranked 14th in the nation. The Sooners are ranked 18th. The Cowboys have a lot on the line and a lot to prove tomorrow. Although the team is pictured as the underdog, don't count the Cowboys out too early.
Believe in us now before it's too late. That's what I'm going to say. Believe in us now before it's too late, man.
Kickoff is tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. You can watch live on ABC if you can't make it to Norman for the game. Tune in to our pregame show at 5:30 to watch our in-depth analysis of the Bedlam battle. For the Daily O, I'm Alex Dusky.
Thanks, Alex. Make sure to tune in and support the Cowboys for this important matchup. The Big 12 standings are in play, with both teams potentially in play for the Big 12 title game come December. This Sunday it will be Week 11 in the NFL. The season seems to be flying by with only a few games canceled due to COVID-19. However, there is just 3 weeks left in most fantasy leagues before the playoffs begin. Blake Broadhurst is back this week to help find the last couple of players for your fantasy roster in another edition of the Fantasy Football Weekly Roundup.
Welcome to the Fantasy Football Weekly Roundup. I'm your host, Blake Broadhurst. Let's jump right into the first segment, Start 'em and Bench 'em. My first must start this week is Steelers wideout Chase Claypool. I just want to say I really like this guy. He's taken the field and TikTok by storm in his rookie year. Anyways, last week he finished with 4 receptions for 56 yards and 2 touchdowns for 21.3 points. He leads his team in targets over the last 2 weeks over receivers like Juju Smith-Schuster and Deontay Johnson. The Jags are also 10th in the league in points given to wide receivers. Please start this man in your fantasy football and TikTok leagues. If you're going to start Claypool, you've got to start his quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger. Big Ben has had at least 25 points in each of his last 2 starts, including throwing for 333 yards and 4 touchdowns last week for 29.3 points. Big Ben has been spreading the love throughout his plethora of receivers, and he will spread the love in your fantasy league as well. My final must start this week is Washington's Antonio Gibson. He has had at least 12 points per game in his last 3 games, including having 4 touchdowns in that 3-game span. Last week he finished with 13 rushes for 45 yards and 2 touchdowns for 22.5 points. Although the football team is struggling to string wins together, I am confident that Antonio Gibson is a worthy player to have in your starting lineup come this weekend. Now it's time for the players you should probably leave on your bench this weekend. My first bench is Rams running back Darrell Henderson. Henderson has been splitting the backfield with Cam Akers and Malcolm Brown lately, and he has been getting the short end of the stick. His week was saved last week with a touchdown as he only had 7 rushes for 28 yards for 10.3 points. He is struggling to get touches and worth leaving on the pine for your team. My next must bench is Eagles wideout Travis Fulgham. Fulgham has been a really exciting storyline all season, but I think the Cinderella story has come to an end. The Eagles now have Alshon Jeffrey, Jalen Reagor, Dallas Goedert, and Miles Sanders all active. That means that Fulgham is most likely playing third or fourth fiddle now. Fulgham finished with only 1 catch for 8 yards for 1.8 points. Leave Fulgham on the bench this week and you will thank me later. My final must bench this week is Tampa Bay wideout Mike Evans. I really like Evans and I think that he is one of the most talented players on this loaded Bucs offense. The only downside to all that is the Bucs are matched up with the Los Angeles Rams this week. That means that Evans will most likely be matched up with Jalen Ramsey. If you've watched my segment before, you know how I feel about receivers being matched up with Jalen Ramsey. I'm picking Ramsey nearly every time. Although Evans finished with 6 catches for 77 yards and a touchdown for 19.7 points, he wasn't playing against Jalen Ramsey last week. Leave Evans on your bench this week. Now it's time for the weekly waiver wire, where I tell you who people are sleeping on in the NFL right now. My first big pickup is Chargers running back Kalen Ballage. Come on, he's even got ball in his name, and this kid can ball. With Justin Jackson on the IR, Ballage finished last week with 16 rushes for 68 yards for 15.2 points. He has quickly turned himself into the feature back on this young Chargers team, and I think that he will continue to put up big numbers. My next big pickup is Patriots wideout Jacoby Myers. Cam Newton and the Patriots have been begging for a star to emerge on this offense all season, and I think they finally have one in Jacoby Myers. He has showed up in a big way, finishing with 5 catches for 15.9 points last week. He continues to be one of Newton's favorite targets on this Patriots team that is finally clicking and winning games. I should have known better than to count out Bill Belichick. My final big pickup this week is going back to Washington and tight end Logan Thomas. Alex Smith coming back to the NFL is one of the greatest stories of our generation. From leaving football due to injury 2 years ago to nearly losing his life in the process. Now he is back to being a starter in the NFL. Oh yeah, he also threw for 55 passes last week in case anyone was wondering. In this air raid offense, Logan Thomas was his second favorite target. Thomas finished with 4 catches for 66 yards for 10.6 points. He is also only owned in 25.9% of leagues. Picking up Thomas in your league is highway robbery. Well, that's all from my Fantasy Football Weekly Roundup. Tune in next Friday to see my weekly Start 'em and Bench 'em, as well as the weekly waiver wire. For the Daily O, I'm Blake Broadhurst. See you next time.
Thanks, Blake. The men's basketball season begins in less than a week. Reporter Barry Craddock highlights transfer Farron Flavors Jr. as he begins the new year on a new team.
Graduate student Farron Flavors Jr. is just one of the many new additions made to the OSU basketball team. Flavors transferred from Cal Baptist, where he averaged 13.4 points and 3.5 rebounds per game. The guard also racked up 22 double-digit scoring games as an undergraduate in California. Flavors says what matters most to him are the experiences.
Leadership and, my experience is, one of the main reasons that I'm here. So, just being able to, understand that, yeah, I'm in a different program, but, my experience is something that you can't necessarily teach.
A proven shot maker, Flavors is projected to be a leader on the court as far as scoring goes. The 6'3" guard put up 24 points against Central Arkansas last season, making 6 of his 13 three-point attempts. Flavors also says the relationships with his new teammates have come easy.
Isaac, he's pretty animated. He uses his voice a lot more than I do. I'm kind of more of a lead by example, quiet type of guy.
The icy and flavorful duo make their debut on November 25th when the Cowboys have their season opener against UT Arlington.
Thanks, Barry. The Cowboys tip off against the UT Arlington Mavericks in Dallas on November 25th. The NBA draft was Wednesday night, and the top 3 picks were finally settled, with Georgia guard Anthony Edwards going number 1 to the Timberwolves, Memphis center James Wiseman going to the Warriors 2nd overall, and LaMelo Ball going to the Hornets 3rd. Thanks for tuning in to the Daily O today. Keep up with our social media at @TheDailyO_TV and watch our show on Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, and on Suddenlink Channel 112. For the Daily O, I'm Karsten Melton. Have a great Thanksgiving break, Cowboys.
everybody, my name is Emily Shooping. I'm your marketing coordinator for the Made in Oklahoma Coalition. I'm coming to you with an amazing opportunity. We are teaming up with the Ocalee Media Group at Oklahoma State University. We want to tell your story on the following platforms: streaming, newspaper, and digital. This opportunity will not only allow your story to be told locally, but nationally as well. I am so excited for each of you to join in on this tremendous opportunity. This will not only be good for your business, but it will be good for our great state of Oklahoma. You can be expecting an email from me soon with more details about this opportunity. Local has a name, local has a face, local has a flavor. The Made in Oklahoma Coalition.